Man, I can't believe this is happening so soon. I knew it was going to happen, but I never thought it would happen this soon. Look, we all know the all digital future was going to happen sooner than later, but I didn't think it was going to be this soon. We already see movement in the gaming industry that points to the direction of all digital. I made a video a while back, maybe like a year or two ago, on why I was going to start buying physical games, right? More than digital games. And it's because of what's happening right now. It made me realize how, there will be an all digital future, and that I will regret not getting my physical copies now before it's too late. But now there has been some things happening in the gaming industry that points to the all digital future sooner than we thought, and I wanted to go over it today because we need to wake up and realize that this will happen and this will be the reality soon. We all know this year has been crazy with video games, right? So many games coming out, so many going to the backlog, obviously, because there's only so much time in the day that you could finish these games that keep coming out back to back to back. But now we go to my first point, which are two games releasing this year, and that is for Alan Wake 2 and Like a Dragon Gaiden. Two big games people are looking forward to, and that were announced that it will be releasing only digital copies, no physical, for these two games. Now this does happen, right, in the gaming industry, but it's mostly for indie games because they don't have a big budget, so they only release a digital version of the game and then maybe a physical later or by limited run, right? But for bigger games like these, they always do a physical copy. So for them to announce that these two games are doing only a digital release is crazy, especially since they're AAA games or close to it at least. And the reasoning for this, at least for Alan Wake 2 that we saw, is a bunch of bull. We could see the Q&A here for the game on why there will be a no physical release, and they answered that they had many reasons for this. One was the shift towards digital games, right? That they're being purchased more than physical, and it's true, and it's mostly for Xbox and PlayStation, which is true, right? I don't argue that. The percentage of digital, is way higher than physical. But for the next reason that they did this, which I disagree on, is that having the game digital only keeps the price at $59.99 for the game, which I call cap because there's a tons of games that are $60 physical, right? And they're also AAA games, and there's also $70 games that are digital. A little example is Baldur's Gate. It released on a $70 price tag recently, and that's only digital as well. So having all digital does not make a difference in the price, and people should not fall for that trap, right? You shouldn't believe that. The reality is, for them, it's more convenient to have all digital because they save more money and time that way. But for us, it's not the case because it splits the community up, right? In a physical form, you don't really own the game technically. There's been many times that they've removed games for whatever reason, and you actually purchase that game. So anytime that something happens, they could remove that game from your library. And there is benefits for owning physical too, like trading, selling, or physically owning the game, right? Now for my next point is from Xbox and PlayStation themselves. They are doing some moves that lean towards more digital era. First, for Xbox, not that long ago, for people that don't know, someone leaked Xbox roadmap for the next couple of years, right, all the way to 2028. And in this roadmap that they had planned for this rest of the year and the generation, maybe the next generation, they showed a refresh of the Xbox Series X, but only digital console. It'll be a new Xbox Series X console, but only digital. And it also showed for the next generation, it might be like a hybrid of some sort to have, cloud gaming and all that stuff they want, so it could play anywhere. The concept that Xbox is trying to do, where you could play anywhere and stuff like that. So maybe for the next generation, which they showed here in their leaked plans, it showed there might be not even a console, or if there is, it will just be a hollow console to just get those cloud streaming services, right? And now for PlayStation, they did announce a big update on cloud streaming. Later this month, they are launching, a PS5 4K cloud streaming for PS Plus premium subscribers. Now, cloud streaming is still really niche, and it's not the way that gamers want to play their games, right? But in the far future, it might be the way to play the games, you know? And that's why Xbox is pushing hard for, you know, the cloud streaming and the cloud gaming and stuff like that. And I think now with this, with PlayStation, they want to put their foot in that market as well, just in case it takes off sooner than expected. So these two heavy, you know, big companies are already planning for that all digital future, right? By adding all these features to their consoles or releasing only digital consoles and stuff like that, right? But now we go to the last point that I wanted to go over, and that's for Best Buy. Best Buy announced recently that they will stop selling physical media in their stores as soon as the end of Q1 in 2024. Now, they did one back and verified that it's only 4K Blu-rays and DVDs, right? It's no games for now. That's the thing. Now, soon, maybe next generation, you know, stores might not be selling their physical games there anymore, you know, yeah. Maybe even Walmart, you know, GameStop will probably be obsolete. Like, there's a lot of things that are shifting towards that digital era, right? With Best Buy announcing that they're not going to be selling any more Blu-ray physical media, basically, right? What's next? Obviously games, right? Now, from all the three companies, Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation, Nintendo is the last one that will go towards that route of all digital era, because they're the only ones that do have a high percentage of physical sales close to digital sales. So for the next generation, the Switch 2, there will be cartridges. I mean, we already got those leaks out. There will be cartridges, maybe another generation as well. Then after that, maybe, yeah, it'll be all digital. So it's happening, guys, and there's already movement, right? Obviously, with the release of PS5 and Xbox, they did two versions, which is digital and physical. So the next generation, it might be just digital, right? People might say that's the way that it should go, but honestly, guys, like, if you think about it, if you really think that only digital is the right way, there's examples out there that it's not. You know, for example, Netflix, right? They just bumped up their price. People have to subscribe to it because they are used to that streaming service, right? What if in the future that happens with PlayStation and Xbox, where they just do streaming and you have no choice but to subscribe to that service, or whatever the case, buy the digital games from there and nowhere else, right? Because they get the most money out of their own stores. So there will be no open market where you could buy a game in the store and have, you know, maybe there's a sale in GameStop or Best Buy or Target or whatever. You will never have that option anymore. It would just be, you know what, you're just gonna buy in PlayStation or Xbox store or Nintendo shop, and if there's a sale or not, oh well, right? Then this digital library you don't really own, right? So like I said, anytime they could just discontinue the game. They could, especially if it's an always online game, they could just stop that online service and then your game will not work, you know? So there's a lot of factors into this, and I did use Netflix as an example because we all know Blu-rays, you know, DVDs are better technically, where you just plug in, put the disc in, and it plays the movie or show or whatever, and there's nothing that's gonna go wrong, right? Compared to streaming services like Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that, where you need internet, right? And there is buffer, because you're streaming it through the internet, right? And you have no choice. If they bump up the price like Netflix, you're gonna have to get that because physical media is going away, right? Yes, digital is more convenient. That's the thing that digital has. It's way more convenient. That's what we're accustomed to, right? With Netflix and stuff like that. That will happen with the video games as well, and it's not the way that I want the future to be, and I'm sure a lot of people will feel the same way. So I encourage everyone that does care about having an open market, having two options, right? Digital and physical, because I do buy digital as well and physical. So have two options, have more freedom, bro, with us, instead of just in their store and stuff like that, right? In their digital store. So if you do care, you should consider buying those physical games that you care about, you know, to have that physical representation of that moment for that game, right? This is the reason I'm buying my physical copies now, with games that I want to purchase and keep. And then yeah, if there's, you know, sales digital wise or whatever that I don't really care about that much for the game, then I do purchase digital. But for the most part, I try to buy my games physical. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. There's a lot of movement right now in the gaming industry, and I'm honestly surprised that it is happening really soon. So Let me know in the comments below what y'all think, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.